In this demo, I will show you the setup of Kubernetes with kops. You can use kops on Linux and on Mac. If you have Windows, you first have to install Vagrant and VirtualBox. So what I will first show you is to just start a new VM with VirtualBox. You can do that on Mac, on Linux, and on Windows as well. So first you download Vagrant up and VirtualBox, then you install it. It's very easy, very straightforward. Then you open a shell or a terminal on Mac, and then you create a directory. In this directory, you do Vagrant init and the Ubuntu box that you want. I'm going to use Ubuntu Xenial64, but you can use any Linux distribution that you want. On the website of Vagrant, you can find other boxes if you would rather run another operating system. This Vagrant init will create a Vagrant file, and then you just do Vagrant up. Vagrant up is then going to use VirtualBox to set up this Ubuntu Xenial64 box. This might take some time, a couple of minutes. And then this is what you should see when it is set up. You also see that within the Linux box you just created, you have a /vagrant that is pointing to the current directory that you are in on your host system. To log in Vagrant SSH config, Linux and Mac users will just be able to do Vagrant SSH. Windows users need to take a look at this identity file here. This is going to point to a path of the private key that they can use in PuTTY. So PuTTY is a tool for Windows to log in into SSH, and you can use puttygen and PuTTY to first convert this private key using puttygen and then log in with PuTTY to this box. You can also use Vagrant SSH, but then you need to install the OpenSSH client. So whatever you think is most easy for you, you can do. Either you use puttygen and PuTTY to log in with your private key. The login is Ubuntu, or you install these OpenSSH libraries. If you would be stuck, there's lots of information on the internet on how to convert a key using puttygen and PuTTY. There's lots of screenshots. So have a look there. If it still doesn't work, just use a Q&A and tell me exactly where you're stuck, and I will try to help you. So from now on, I will assume that you have a Linux box available on whatever platform that you are. So from this point on, I'll be using the Linux downloads, and I will be using this box to set up the Kubernetes cluster. So the next step here is that we're going to download kops so that we can install Kubernetes.